Hello and welcome, Internet. Hi. Hello. I think we can all be heard. Hello, hello.
Let's
Hello,
say something. Blah, 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 blah,
Blah,
blah,
blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we are all good. Hello, world. Hi. My name is DM Dan. Welcome to Explorers of Elsewhere Live for a rather special little stream. It was somewhat kind of impromptu. We can be heard. Thank you, Julia. And hello to Daniel and Carl, also in YouTube chat. Hello, hi. Yeah, we are streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. A very special stream, as I just mentioned, all in aid of Monster Week. Hurrah! Yes, this is the second year that Ginny D and Pointy Hat have run Monster Week. Last year was Krakens. This year is all dragons. And if nothing else, it's an absolutely fantastic way of kind of bringing the TTRPG communities together to create some really amazing stuff, to share some really cool kind of lore and thoughts and ideas and tips and tricks and all sorts of magical things to make dragons more exciting and entertaining at your tabletop. Yes. We can, well, these two have been busy. As you can
had to try the program out, make sure it worked.
Make sure it worked. Absolutely. So yes, if you have a look for the YouTube channel Monster Week, there are now, as of I've just checked, there are now 2 playlists, one for yesterday, one for today, and it's a catalogue of all of the videos that have been released as part of Dragon Week this week. It's a free-for-all, so if you're yourself a creator and you haven't created anything yet but you feel the hankering for it, then absolutely you've got until Friday to create and release a video. Share it on your socials, let other people know, amplify your stuff, they'll amplify their stuff, they'll amplify yours, just to really help things out. But yes,
before we start, Dan, do you want to tell us your reaction to when you found out that Monster Week was actually about dragons and your reaction to
it? Sure. Yes. So part of the reason why we're doing this is I noticed a couple of YouTube channels that I follow. They were all posting this logo, this weird little logo that looks similar to the one right here, just there, that little red one there. And I was a bit curious, delved into it, and I found out about Dragon Week, and I was like, oh, that's really great. Yeah, I've got loads of ideas for a video all about dragons. If I hadn't just released one. So, yes, for anyone that interested, wondering, Elsewhere is a campaign setting that we play in on this channel. We are warming up. We're kind of getting things ready for our 3rd campaign in the Elsewhere setting. That's due to start at the end of May, or sort of towards the second half of May. The whole idea of Explorers of Elsewhere, the whole idea of this video, the reason why I've called it Community Creations, Elsewhere is a setting that is developed by me, by the players as they're playing, and by you, the viewers, as you're viewing. It's designed to be a completely kind of cooperative, like a medley of all the amazing ideas that we're all having. The Elsewhere as a setting is a realm that is being rediscovered in the aftermath of a pretty nasty divine war. So the idea that, if you've got a good idea and you want to share it with us, like that idea could then spin off into more ideas. It could even become the basis of a campaign set, like a whole campaign. It's the sky's the limit. And I just released a lore video on the dragons, who are the gods of our setting. And that video was about 2 days old when I found out about Dragon Week. So I thought, you know what, we've named our dragons, we know who they are, what they are, but something that's kind of reared its head multiple times is we don't know what they look like. So, I mean, maybe one of these 4 drawings on screen right now is what 4 of them are going to look like. But yes, so those of you who are in chat, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining in. If you do have any ideas, as we're just gonna have a bit of a chill Tuesday. We're gonna sketch out some drawings. So all three of us have access to this screen on this kind of page on screen. We're just gonna doodle. If you have any ideas for some of the dragons as we're kind of discussing them, we'll go through. Effectively, we're looking at getting kind of mug shots of the dragons, so I know what their like body types are, what their like body builds are, what their horns look like. Are there any particular defining features about the dragons, like, oh, this one's got 4 eyes instead of 2, or something like this one's got a really long, narrow, pointed snout. Then chuck them in the chat, and we'll mull on it, and then if it's a good idea, we'll do it. That's pretty much it. Right, if the bottom one isn't a god of bravery, I mean, to be fair, I mean, maybe that one is one and done. Yes, just before we go any further, hello Livy. Hi.
Hello.
And below you, hello Nate.
Hello.
Hello. So yes, Livy and Nate, I guess we could kind of call you veterans now, because you've been in campaign 2, Elysia Rising.
Yep.
And that both of you have been in our Daggerheart campaign that wasn't a campaign that became a campaign.
Yep.
The
mini adventure that went on and on and on and on and on.
Yes. And you may or may not be on the channel for a little bit in the future as well.
Maybe.
Hi Sheldon, welcome. Hello. Just real quick, I've that one's watching on Twitch. Cool. So I can close that chat down.
Get down, Twitch.
That's very good to hear, Daniel. And yes, fellow Daniels unite. Daggerheart has been an interesting beast for us, hasn't it?
Yes, very.
Like what we started playing during the beta tests, like playing the Sablewoods and the airship one. Windfall. Marauders of Windfall, that was it. And it was really, really interesting. I mean, I think it's safe to say that quite a few of us come from like D&D backgrounds. So it was interesting to see, I mean, especially as we've also started playing non-D&D stuff, where the differences were, and then almost trying to intuit like what are Darrington Press trying to do with this rule set to sort of like set it out, because we were like, oh, let's play it like D&D but with D12s, and that kind of didn't work. And then we're like, all right, let's lean into the narrative bit more, like Blades in the Dark, which campaign 2 was, and that kind of worked better. And then campaign 3 is a Daggerheart campaign. I've announced that, so I'm happy to announce that again. Definitely stick around for that. So end of May, campaign 3 starts.
We're just waiting for them to officially release
patiently waiting.
Release it.
I definitely should not be allowed into casinos, because like I looked at the dates and I was like, I reckon they said they're going to release it spring 25, and I reckon it's going to come out in March. Mark my words, it'll come out just before the start. End of May. Right. Okay. Right, brilliant. Thanks, guys. Yes, and enough of that. This is Dragon Week. Let's talk about dragons. Let's say we've got these pictures here. Just as a quick aside, if you are interested in Dragon Week and the stuff that other creators are doing, I'll quickly show you. So this is the playlist for today. It's growing. So there's this one here for all the different creators that have made stuff for this week, for today, sorry, and then also the playlist for don't copyright strike me. And then all the videos for yesterday. Loads and loads of stuff coming out, and they're all, loads of them are really, really good quality things. So Yeah, definitely give those a check if you haven't already. Right, so ladies and gents, and beautiful creatures. As much as I love these four,
No.
I'm going to move us to a new page.
Okay.
So, who is first? I suppose. Let me move that there. So we can look at our very professional-looking Google Drive doc list of dragons. Who do you want to start with? So, like Aya and Akam. So, mother and father.
Mother.
They are basically done. Like they're the ones that I pretty much know what they're all about. We also know off the back of Tales from Elsewhere, the Daggerheart thingy, that Wender High is kind of locked in. So we know that Wender High is all sort of like thin and serpenty. It's got real strong kind of Eastern, like Asian style, like Fang Dragon style bits about him. No wings. We noted, just long, spindly kind of serpentine body, and like curved horns, much like a ram's. So Wender High, we kind of locked in. Now everyone else is fair game. So, and Graven War should be based off Trogdor.
Yeah. How do you feel about Barahan looking like Trogdor? I mean, one of them, big beefy arm on the back of the neck.
But yeah, one big beefy arm.
Well, shall we? I mean, is it better if the two of you, like, shall we pick three, like one each, and then between us and chat, we can start mashing ideas together?
Yeah.
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 Okay. So, Nate, are you able to see the document as well?
Yeah, I can see the document.
Great.
I would really like to pick, considering that she was such a big thing that came up in Elysia. I would really like to pick Meladani.
Meladani. Okay. Yeah, Meladani for Nate. Let's put that in blue. Let's put it in pink because she's purple.
And she's purple, which is my favorite color. So yeah.
Okay. We'll pop her in purple. Make that white. Cool. So Nate's got Meladani, the Reveler. Who are you eyeballing, Liv?
I don't know.
You know what? I think I'm going to be edgy. Soup's edgy.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab Ulavari just because Ulavari is one of the dragons that I've already kind of got a couple of ideas for.
Oh, are they the twins? Like
the twins, yeah.
Twins
of life and death.
Oh, but I love twins.
I mean, you could have
let me do. I don't know. I don't mind.
I mean, you could even go for a baddie.
Oh, I do like a baddie.
So, I guess. Well, if you did want Ulavari, because Ulavari is going to be an interesting one because lore that off the back of lore that we kind of discovered through playing, Ulavari's dead? Like Ulavari died during the war, but the odd nature of Ulavari effectively being like a dual soul deity, hence the twins. Ulavari, like they are now trapped in this sort of like literal kind of cycle of life and death. And in my head, I was almost picturing something between like this Ouroboros kind of like in this constant circle, but then also like intertwining, like one like a two-bodied serpent of like different colors, and one represents life and one represents
go
death.
for it. Can I go for a baddie?
Can
I have Zerathane?
Zerathane the Undying?
I love dead stuff. So
dead stuff. Okay. So let's put so Zerathane is Lello.
Lello, like Lello,
So, like Lello. What's
snotty, pussy
what's-
Lello.
did I transplant the schools of magic into Daggerheart? So
I don't think we got that far.
well, I only in name, to be fair. So, I mean, certainly during like campaign 1 was D&D, so this kind of made sense. And like for those blessed with D&D knowledge, like you can very quickly go, oh, the dragons up top have two of the cleric domains each, and then the 8 down the bottom have each of the wizard schools each. The lore of Elsewhere being that there was a big war between the dragons, who are the gods, and the war was between whether the mortals should have and use arcane magic, which is magic that is not given to the mortals by the gods, because obviously to get magic from the gods you have to pray and worship. And that's how dragons, the gods, can control how much power is kind of feeding into the planet. And then Akan woke up one day and went, nope, you can have arcane magic. I trust you. Do what you want with it. And the end of that story is reality broke. So I've realized when we concluded campaign 1 and kind of left D&D behind and moved into Blades in the Dark and now Daggerheart, there was this idea of I've stopped kind of looking at the domains and the schools closely, and instead kind of go, all right, if I have that kind of image in my head, like, you know, transmutation, Kervotha, what does that invoke as an idea? And then I'm kind of more running with that. So you're kind of absolutely right, Daniel. Like, maybe this should be an additional thing, but actually it's more a case of, like, for example, Yala, the Castellan, isn't the goddess of war and peace. She is the goddess, like, she is the Castellan. She's the one that like looks after people. And also the arcane dragons, quote unquote, the betrayers, which are the 8 at the bottom, like all of their monikers are like post losing the war monikers. So yeah, they wouldn't have been like, oh, I love worshipping Vanthurian, the tyrant. Like, that wouldn't have been the case. But Vanthurian would go on to become the tyrant. But once upon a time being a protector, and then eventually that protection turning into something a bit more ironclad. Hello.
Talking about that, if I'm drawing a baddie, am I
Yep.
drawing him now he's baddie?
Probably.
Okay, good.
But I mean, arguably, I guess you could just say, oh, baddie equals just like spikes everywhere. Let's see how you two have been getting on. Oh, hello.
Oh, I haven't done anything.
Oh, hang
yet.
on. I didn't
just
actually
wanna know.
pick one, did I? Oh, no, I did.
I thought you were doing the twinsies.
I was doing the twinsies. I thought at first you were going to say that Living Dragon was dragging down the courts of the devil. Oof, that would be dark. Yeah, there was a part of me that was like, is a reality rendering war really that bad if, like, the gods, all 20 gods survived and it was just the mortals that got battered from pillar to post? Realizing that that's probably not great, like, storytelling in a situation where we can just write our own stories, kind of thing. Yeah, I was like, 2 of the gods died, like, and that would have been a thing that would have shook the dragons. Shooketh, I say.
Shooketh.
Absolutely shooketh. So yeah, Ulavari dead, question mark, because Ulavari, life and death, so we can do some weird wacky stuff with that. But also Kervotha, who was once called the Alchemist, is now called the Sundered, because Kervotha's physical form would have been shattered and spread across the elemental planes, and now exists in multiple fragmented parts that are forever changing. Transmutation. But so is dead ? Like literally is shattered and lost to the wind. Right. Oh, you two are just blazing on with the drawing. So Ulavari. Let's get this out of the way. Tell you what. Tell me if music's a bit too loud. Should be quiet and gentle. Yes, absolutely. Again, if you're in the chat and you've got any ideas of like aspects of these gods, or like physical appearances, or just ideas that, or if there are sort of like dragons, or even not dragons, that you think, oh, you know what, that's really, really cool. I know, Carl, you mentioned Nicole Bolas from Magic the Gathering a little while ago. Like I was saying to Livy and Nate beforehand, like when I think of a Khan, I kind of think of Nicol Bolas in a way, but without the goblin face. And if you don't know about Nicol Bolas's goblin face, don't look up the goblin face. It'll forever scar you.
Or you'll fall in love.
I suppose, how do I do this to stay on? This is maybe we should have cams like on the desk looking up at our face, so we're just as we're drawing
right up our noses. Yeah. I think we spoke about briefly, Dan, at one point, sort of like our different ideas of what Melodani looked like, because you had a very different idea of what she looked like compared to how I envisaged her from what you described in campaign 2.
Interesting.
Because I sort of envisaged her as sort of very windy, sort of very Eastern inspired.
Yeah.
But then you said, oh no, she looks like a weird little shiny thing. I think.
A weird little shiny thing?
Yeah, you showed me like a picture of what you thought she looked like, and she looked like just this weird little stumpy shiny thing.
I can't. What?
That's what I just remember of it looking like.
Are you sure it wasn't like glare from the light on the ceiling?
Maybe.
Just a little dot.
Just a little dot.
Yes, here we are. I said I'd do Ulavari, but no, I'm actually just going to do Melodani. There we go. Who's first brush?
The sun.
Yeah.
I'll draw a picture in a moment of what I thought like she looked like, because it was like she just looked like she was grumpy. I remember that. She just
was it a picture I'd drawn?
No, it was a picture you found. She just looked like a bit of a horse, basically.
Oh.
But she was shiny. Just remember. I don't know why I thought she was shiny. She just looked it.
Shiny.
There you go.
Oh, done. Melodani, tick.
Right, done. No. Not in my canon. Get out of here.
Not in my canon.
Not in my head canon.
Well, I guess the other thing to consider is actually we can be kind of well, I mean, we've got 20 dragons to kind of conceptualize. So there are some really kind of cool non-serpentine looking dragons. I mean, I guess Nicol Bolas and his little goblin face is an example, right?
Yeah, because I guess it doesn't really have to boil down to having like a reptilian face.
Yeah. So I mean, if it's more like equine, a bit more horsey, like hippogriffy almost.
Mm.
Yeah, that's an idea. What are we thinking about? What are you thinking? I don't know, mate. I don't know, Daniel. I've drawn 2 lines and I'm already struggling.
To be fair, Dan, you're the one who's probably going to struggle most because you're doing it on your phone.
Yeah.
There's like Livy with an iPad Pro. There's like me with my graphic tablet. You're just, I'll do it.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to know the well, not really the software, the like browser software that we're using something called Magma, which I came across a couple of months ago. You do need to make an account for it, but it's pretty powerful for what it is, and it's all browser based. And you can share it with like multiple people, so like multiple people can be in the same room as you, and it's pretty good, I think, for like a free piece of software.
Yeah, this is working kind of surprisingly well. Okay, hear me out. Uladari. Each head is cyclopean, like 1 eye each.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I'm going to really struggle not to make it look like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Can we make one look like Sonic the Hedgehog?
I don't know, chat. Can we make one? Why am I asking of you? Of course you're going to say yes, aren't you?
Community collaboration, baby.
Yeah. So, Nate, actually, off the back of you talking about Magma, yeah, Daniel here's mentioned that we can have 30 people drawing at once. That seems like a challenge, a future live stream. I'll just give out the link to 27 lucky people.
Because Meladani is, so she's the reveler, so she's the god of celebrations and things like that. Can I give her a party hat? She seems like one that would just have like a red cup, like you sort of say. We don't know what's in it. She knows. She's loving it. Actually, she's a party girl. I'm going to give her much more wavy hair.
She's a party girl.
She is a party girl.
I guess this is pseudo spoiler for campaign 2. I did feel a bit mean when you lot were like coming up with all these theories that it was Meladani.
No, you
and
didn't.
Then
You're just like hee.
You were all sort of like, I could almost picture the 5 of you like in the Charlie Day room with the red string, like photos of the red strings. Be like, we've got an idea, and then because you all had, if you haven't watched campaign 2, you should absolutely watch it because the story we made was frankly pretty amazing. But then, because it was also fun to do the sort of like behind the scenes player chats, so the Algernon's Angels, and just kind of hearing your theories, and then you were like, I think we've cracked it, Dan. We've cracked it. We've unraveled your mystery. And because I wasn't privy to the player chats, so it was nice for the players to be able to kind of pontificate and then kind of come to me with like just go on their theories. It just meant that when they were like, yeah, this is what we think's up, like you were sort of like making these grand sweeping statements, and then in the expectation that I would be like, dang it, guys, you got it.
me.
You got me. And
got
instead
me.
I was sat there going, what?
What? Where did I get that from? It's weird.
We were so sure of ourselves as well. We thought we were so smart.
Ulavari looks really sad.
Oh, well, he's dead.
How do you...
Alive, but dead.
Sorry, Dan, did I take over?
He's sad. He's like a sad bird.
They all the names the 10 times. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, say when Nate introduced us to Magma, that was just a really good shout. Julia, yeah, the theories were really solid, and like there was a part of me that was like I always try to do a bit of a like, if something sounds really good, can I just say, you know what, I'm gonna drop everything that I had planned, and that's
just yes and this.
Yes and it, basically. But then, because the theory kind of involved a really critical NPC whose identity was already quite ironclad, so I was like, oh. Okay, maybe he'll look less sad when the second head is there. I say they.
Dun, dun, dun,
Ooh, hello.
Oh, it's a daisy.
Okay. It is a daisy. Right, tell you what, let's sort this out. We're doing this for the views.
I see. So Dan wasn't able to make a break screen, but he was able to incorporate cat cam. Okay.
Yeah, he was just like, you guys just gonna have to work through, but there is a cat cam, so
I mean, let me know in chat if you think that the inclusion of cat cam is a travesty.
A travesty that it's not all the time, that it's so small.
Right, let's zoom in so we can see less of my messy office. Enhance, zoom.
I keep getting a random red line that keeps coming on over here. Whose red line is this?
No, man. It's yours.
There we go. Cat cam is crucial. Daisy is on screen. There we go. Livy, don't draw anything super important in that bottom corner.
This bottom corner?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's where Daisy is.
It's covered by Daisy, yeah.
Down here. Nothing is where I want it to be.
So yeah, for those listening in chat, if you've got any ideas of like if you've thought to yourself, oh, wouldn't it be really cool if a dragon had like this thing, let us know.
Yeah, big beefy arm, back of the neck.
Big beefy on back of the neck.
Big
Consummate
beefy
V's.
arm.
Consummate V's. There was a very recent Homestar Runner animation that came out.
Are they still going?
Yeah. And it was like, I think it was for the 25th anniversary of the website. And they were like, they made like this whole song about how good the website was. And then they actually said, oh, does this mean we're bringing the website back? And they were like, no.
I spent so many hours on that website when I was a kid.
It's hard not to. It's great.
I realised this Ulavari is giving me Ridley from Metroid vibes.
Very true, yeah. Does she count as a dragon? Or is she something else? No,
She.
No, he. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was misgendering.
That's a Rule 34.
Oh, it's there.
Oh, it's there, 100%.
It's there, but we're on YouTube, so we can't look it up.
I reckon so. What am I trying to do? Not that.
He's got no flesh.
One thing that we haven't spoken about with the chat yet is that Dragon Scent, which are playable NPCs and like the playable heritages in a way in the Elsewhere campaign, they take off traits from the dragons who they were meant to align with.
Yep.
Being a bitch.
Did we? I mean, or was it mentioned at all? Sort of like, so our very first dragon scent who we saw, Atrak.
Yep.
Was it actually mentioned at all which sort of dragon he was?
Yeah, well, Atrak had the dark purple, like the jet black purple scales of presumably a calm.
Right.
I guess one thing we could do is that it might, from a character creation point of view, it might be better if it's not like you have the option of saying my dragon scent is clearly of the brood of Palagara, but much in the same way that like D&D Dragonborn, for example, it's just because my scales are red doesn't mean I'm like a red dragon.
Yeah.
So we could kind of work down that, but I think also where I've got 20 flavors of dragon, maybe well, I suppose it's just down to the player, isn't it? Like when you created Cavern, was there a particular god that you were like, I reckon Cavern descended from that one?
No, because I don't think I knew that lore until like afterwards.
And I think that's probably for the best, because I feel like if I start locking in hard rules to say, oh, if you're playing a dragon scent, then you have to kind of code your character to one of these 20 flavors. I think all I'm doing in that instance is kind of curtailing your creativity.
Yeah,
which is a shame.
I'm trying my hardest because I almost went into Spyro colours, so I didn't want to do that.
Yellow skin, no fat or muscle, spiny teeth.
Spiky teeth. There you go. You're done.
Crack one open. I'm done.
Oh, you two just smashed it out.
And I don't want to. I just got no nose. He's got a goblin face.
Yeah, I think when it's come to drawing, like creating Dragon Scent, I think we found it more fun actually leaning them more towards the race that they're actually, the heritage that they're more born into. I think that has been more fun than actually leaning them more towards the dragon they're related to.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, because like I agree. If this was stock D&D, I'd turn around and say I really like the color red, so I'd like my Dragonborn to be red, please. But I'm not a chaotic evil butthole.
Let's make this a little bit more interesting.
Oh, I can't even see what I've drawn.
Ow, no.
Oh, what have I done?
Oh, it wasn't Livy's corner that had cat cam in. It was my corner that had cat cam in.
Oh, that's I drew Daisy.
Oh,
I
sorry,
she
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Oh, get rid of her then.
No.
If I can ever find the layer ever again. Goodbye, Daisy.
Bye, Daisy.
Okay. Okay, what's 8:15? So, I reckon...
Yes, little arms. It's got a body of a little worm.
Fairy. Right.
It's finished.
Are we ready to move on to new dragons?
Sure.
Okay, hang on. Let me just quickly... Okay, hear me out here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just said let's move on to new dragons, but I just had another idea that would require me doing more drawing. Ulavari, one eye per head.
Yeah.
But also one
One head.
horn?
I think
Question
one
mark?
horn, one eye, one arm, one leg, one nod of the head. Sit up, sit down.
2 worlds, 1 family.
2 worlds. No, I think so. I think everything it's like they've been split. You know, so they've got one of each.
Because I suppose the other thing is these are gods, right? So it doesn't really. It's not even like it has to make sense, quote unquote.
No.
Enough sense that we could draw a picture of them.
Just got a little red cup. Yeah, but then I guess you'd think like, because like I'm thinking dragon, and then yeah, how does that relate to its dragon spawn or dragon scent? Like, how would that be represented? Like,
How does
Dan
Dan make a dragon scent with one eye in Hero Forge? Is what we're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, no, not necessarily that, but you know.
No,
Or
I mean,
would
it
they
is-
take after one of the twins? Would they always take after both?
I mean, maybe it's just a case that in Ulavari's case, it's simply because they are two-bodied that. Yeah, the others would be like a combination of
The both.
both of them.
So maybe different coloured eyes, different coloured horns.
Oh, yeah, propensity for like heterochromia or
Chromia.
something.
Yeah, yeah. One black eye, one white eye, one whatever. Whatever.
Well,
Well.
Where's my layers tab? There it is. How do I make a new? Oh no, I've duplicated. Wait, hold.
it's right in the right corner under the opacity with a little plus sign in the middle to make a new layer above the bin.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
No,
Just don't touch the bin.
just don't touch the bin.
Never touch the bin. You never go full bin.
Never go full bin.
Okay. So. Too thin. Big. I need to be big. Soft ink. I was thinking for Ulavari, one of them is like it's really kind of hammy and kitschy, but maybe that's what I need. One is black and one is white.
And they could have opposite
Yeah.
horns, opposite eyes, potentially, like a yin and a yang,
Yeah.
life and death.
Beep beep.
Beep beep. And then maybe like a mid-grey for their slightly warmer mid-grey for their squidgies.
Mm. Is that the technical term? Squidgies?
Yeah, for the squidgies.
Okay.
Obviously.
Obviously.
So hang on, what are we thinking about the eyes?
I think they should be different
Yeah.
colours. Each maybe opposites. So
Yeah. You could make one
Black
just like
for
completely black.
black. So white one has a completely black eye
With a white
with a white
pupil.
and the other one has a white eye with a black, maybe a bit
So
peacock thingy.
edgy. So
And then obviously when it turns, they're more of a dragon scent. They're dragon spawn, dragon scent.
They're like one eye and super emo.
Yeah, exactly. And they all have fringes.
Yeah.
And they wear like belted trousers. Trench coats.
XP.
So a bit like that.
A bit like that.
A bit
Yeah.
like that. How can you draw
Uh,
a dragon with a fringe?
What?
Oh, they just have like a little, like a, like cockerels have a, like a little thing on their heads. Or no, you could have one of those, but a long one.
Cool. There's Ulavari. I just need a little bit of.
Dan will tell me off.
Hmm?
I've become so spoiled by how many undos you can do in Procreate.
I know.
that
I've also been
this one
spoiled. Like I was drawing a circle and I was waiting for it to write itself into a true
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah. Like,
I was like,
way.
why would it automatically make it into a circle for me?
That happens to me with Clip Studio because I've been trying to use that more. And I'm just like, why? And it's like, oh, because it has its own dedicated tool for it. That's why.
I think I just made it worse. Well, I know what I mean.
That's the thing. This is just so you know what you mean.
I will not apologise for art.
Where's Leanie?
Cool, close enough. Right. And then let's sign it off. Ulavari the twins. Cool.
Oh, there's my one.
So we've got Ulavari the twins and Benedani with their red plastic cup.
Bad man.
And Vanthurian the tyrant. Very. Oh wait, no. Seraphim the undying.
He's the undying.
He's the undying. Cool.
Died a bit.
So, shall we? Okay, I'll start a new drawing. Bam.
Bam.
So, who's up next?
I might look if you go.
Who did the little guy down at the bottom?
Me.
I mean, that was giving me real face though, the mesmerist vibe.
Yeah.
Like the little dragon. It's like, try to see magic trick.
What color is he?
He's orange.
He's orange. I can do him. I can redo him.
Like, I'm imagining, I guess we're in the wheelhouse of like fairy dragons if we're talking D&D,
Yeah.
but just this like cutesy little
Guy.
little guy. He's a little guy. Okay, so Nat, are you happy to grab Faisto?
Yeah.
Okay.
Faisto is such a little guy name as well.
Right. So Nate's grabbing Faisto. Whose live you want to grab?
I don't know.
Faisto is the close-up magician. Just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
He's just a
It's
little
just
guy.
like that little guy when we went out for your birthday, Nate.
Oh yeah.
That little guy. He's just like, ooh, cards. It's on fire.
So, Livy, I guess we're running through this list. Renangar is the god of the skies, hence the Sky Watcher. So yeah, he looks after everything between the land and the stars.
Okay.
Hydrea is she who collects knowledge for the betterment of the learned. She's the lawkeeper. Dost is... Oh, have I got the script? What I wrote for? Dost is the inventor, so he's the god of like ingenuity and like natural thinking and sort of like higher thought. Tione the architect, she's all about civilization and the security that civilization gives people. Gagoldin the Wild Heart is the he's the god of beasts, basically. Beasts. So the noble beasts that inhabit elsewhere. Barahan, the soul guide. So Barahan is almost like that chap that has the boat on the River Styx. Chat will tell us.
Is it Channing
Tatum.
Channing Tatum, yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
His name's Sharon?
Yes. Barahan is Channing Tatum.
Cool.
Shannon, I think.
Shannon?
I was going to movie. I see little guy in the chat. Did I miss? No, Daniel, don't you worry. We are like Nate is hard at work drawing up Faisto, the mesmerist, who is the little guy. Charot. Carrot. Is it a hard K?
Charon?
Charon. Basically,
Charon.
Barahan shepherds souls from the mortal planes to the divine realms.
But he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. Yeah. Yala is the Castellan. She's the one that's like, she's basically the referee of the gods. Very much like, if you're gonna throw hands, these are the rules that will bring us to a conclusion the quickest. So she's all like, hence war and peace. So like, it's getting through war as quickly as we can to then come to peace. So yeah, she's a Castellan, like the defender. Selenith the nurturer. They're a nice. They're nurture. So they're all about
It's a nice one.
just nice things.
Oh, I might do that one.
You also have Kervotha, Laravorg. Kervotha the Sundered, Laravorg the Swarm. So Laravorg used to be like the garden tender of Elsewhere. Pantheon the Tyrant. So when protection goes bad. Naravid the Doomsayer. So that's the you saw Naravid in Tales, which was I see the futures and they don't look good. And Palagara the Shadow. So Palagara was lurking in campaign 1. I reckon.
I want to do the nurture.
You're doing Selenith?
Yeah, she's pink, isn't she?
Yeah. They are pink. Yeah. Color coded for your convenience. Pink. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go Kervotha. Given that she's got a bit more of a presence in campaign 3.
Ooh.
Oh. What's it's from a dead language. Okay, so yes, we're now doing Phaesto the Mesmerist, Selenith the Nurturer, and Kervotha the Sundered. He's a little guy. Carl, if you're still in the chat, I reckon Carl's au fait with Stargate. Just a little guy. I've just realised, oh no.
What?
The cat cam is right underneath the EOE logo. Okay, hang on. Sorry, community creation. I'm gonna move it there. There we are. There we are. So, who have we got?
Ooh, that's too big a brush. Here we go.
Where are you drawing, Liv?
I'll do my side again. There. I'll draw like here.
Okay, cool.
Nathan's taking up like 2/3 of the.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll take this area here. There we go. Yeah, thanks, Nate.
Hang on. Give me a second. I'll sort myself out because
Sort yourself out.
Sort yourself out.
You guys weren't messing about so much. Right. How can?
So while we're starting these new drawings, Daniel, you've tried out Daggerheart. What were your thoughts? I know you said you were only doing like single sessions, presumably between rules revisions, so it was a bit weird. But yeah, what was your takeaway from those, like beyond the confusion?
Okay.
I don't think I've ever heard of Cortex Plus.
can't say I have either. Am I missing a trick? Cortex Plus. That's a Cortex Plush. Cortex from Crash Bandicoot. Helps if I spell it right. Used for 3 published games. Marvel Heroic. Okay. Okay. Variety dice for. Interesting. Preferred wound system rather than HP. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that front. One of the things that I wanted to... One of my biggest criticisms of games like D&D is that despite all of the things that as a GM or as a player you can do to speed up, for example, combat, there does come a point. I mean, like maybe I notice it more because I'm running games to a time limit because I don't want episodes to go wildly over, kind of thing. But like in campaign 1, which was D&D, it was almost like, right, I'm gonna do like 20-30 minutes of roleplay and then the rest is combat. And then having to kind of build around that was a bit of a weird one. And I found that we were kind of veering worryingly close to that in Daggerheart. To give it benefit of the doubt, maybe it's just off the back of the play tests. Because like even now, and obviously they're not going to now because it's coming out in like a month, the playtest books only had a couple of examples of like exploration. Like they had environment stat blocks and stat blocks, quote unquote, but there was only a few of them. There are quite a few that were like coming soon and then they just never arrived. So like the Ginjagan peaks or whatever it's called that you fly towards at the end of the second playtest, like that would have been really interesting to be like, what is that all about? Because it sounds like it was all sort of like mountainside kaiju things. Yeah, sounded crazy. But off the back of things like exploration, something that we're going to be looking at in campaign 3 is really kind of leaning into the players telling me what they find, which I think will be really interesting because we kind of did that in campaign 2, right?
We found it hard to begin with, but then we started leading. I found that especially people like Meg and JC were very good at it.
Yeah,
were very good at sort of saying like, I've decided this. But yeah, it definitely for me took a while to sort of understood. Oh, I could do that.
Yeah, because then you can deliberately build things that you can then do cool things with. I think the thing that we're going to struggle, well, the thing I'm worried about is sort of like how I present that to the viewers primarily, like to anyone watching. Because if I, if one of you wants to turn around mid-fight and be like, is it actually like a cliffside that we're on? Like, if we haven't set in stone that it's not on a cliffside, then realistically it could be on a cliffside. But if the map that we're fighting over, like the VTT map that we're fighting over, doesn't have a cliffside, I would have to scrabble real hard to suddenly make that a cliffside. So it's that balance of giving the players flexibility to create a world, which is obviously what I really want to do, versus how I then do that beyond every VTT map being magma and me drawing frantically on it while we play.
Yeah, I can totally get sort of like what like Darrington Press were going for when it was coming to sort of creating Daggerheart, but it is going to be difficult, especially for people who do use visuals for like making maps and things like that, and for showing combat. So like, I think it would be better. Hopefully in the future they'll sort of give more tools on how to do that, or give more tools for people to be able to do that when it does create. Because me and Livy and a bunch of other people, especially people who've been on the channel, so like Chris and Dan, well, everyone that's been on the channel really, we all play like D&D on a Wednesday, just sort of like as a group. And we're currently going through the Quiet Year, which was something that Darrington Press did say was an inspiration to Daggerheart through the whole sort of map creation. And like, I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm finding that pretty fun, because it's nice to sort of make a world without sort of like worrying too much about a character. But then we have like a big blank piece of paper and we're just adding scribbles and drawings and things like that, which is the way the Quiet Year is meant to be played. But how are you going to do that as you said, like, how are you going to do that in the middle of combat?
Like on the fly. Yeah.
Oh no, we'll tackle it. I think the fact, so session 0 of campaign 3 is coming out on May the 19th. It'll be a live stream campaign, so we'll be back here May the 19th from 7:30. And I am fully aware that Daggerheart releases the next day. So campaign 3 session 1 will go live, will air 6 days after release of the rule set. There's a part of me that's a bit gutted that the UK deliveries of Daggerheart haven't been as ballsed up as they have been in Australia and New Zealand.
I wish.
I would feel much more prepared if that were the case. But yeah, like, we are 100% going to be kind of adapting, not like making it up as we go along, but like definitely, working, trying to like improving as we go through the campaign. Just real quick, Critical Role Dimension 20, a greater role playing during combat. I think it's required to be top tier actual place. Yeah, no, you're 100% right, 100%. But I did find that, for example, Blades of the Dark naturally, like from a mechanical perspective, lent itself much better to the players being able to be descriptive during combat, and it fundamentally had a difference on like outcomes. So I think it's like in episode 6, I think, of campaign 2, there is a street brawl, and it's the 5 PCs. And remember, like, if we're talking in D&D terms, these guys are like level 2 rogues tops. But it's 5 of them versus like 5 City Watch. And I don't know if you would agree with me, mate, but that was one of the scrappiest, like, exciting, chaotic fights I've ever run.
Yeah. No, it's good fun.
Like, because you can just describe what you're doing and then what skill set you're going to use off the back of it. Like, your role play leading into that is telling me what the outcomes can be. So yeah, the role play itself just fully feeds the story, whereas something where combat is a lot more prescribed. I mean, D&D came off the back of a war game, right? Like, it was basically, once upon a time, D&D and Warhammer were the same circle on the Venn diagram. But like, when it's just like, oh, you want to grapple? That is a very specific thing. This is how you do it. You do it. You don't do it. So yeah, like it's definitely good if you can add the role play as part of using all the D&D, Pathfinder, whatever mechanics. Yeah, I'm hoping that Daggerheart, which is quite kind of mechanically a little bit crunchy when it comes to combat, hopefully things like the tag teams will help to spice it up with being like, we're gonna introduce roleplay, and then that will give Dan the absolute, like, that will be the guiding star for me to know how to then reward or punish it. Never played the second part of the pre-written adventure. Yeah, no, that's fair. The I think the three of us can all say the second half of the airship adventure was wild. That was, yeah, bless them. Like, you can only do so much when it comes to pre-writtens. Yeah, there were some hoops, but it was good. It was good to see. It was good to see what they kind of had in mind. I feel like it would have been better if the tail end of that adventure was in itself much more dependent on your actions, because the adventure was like, this is going to happen, and then this will happen, and then this will happen, and then regardless of what you do, this will happen. It's like, that's a shame. Like you've given us the flexibility to craft our own narrative, and then kind of go, oh, regardless of what you say, this NPC is going to do this.
It's gonna, yeah.
And then obviously, because of that, you will then do this, and you'll then, yeah.
It's like, even if you kill everyone, they'll still be friends with you.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
It's like, wait a minute.
Quite, yeah. Yes. Yeah, from like from looking from the outside in, the Quiet Year seems like it's quite an interesting little thing. I've drawn like 6 lines.
You draw a bit more. I'll talk a bit more about the Quiet Year, because all you really need to play the Quiet Year is, like, you can find it on Itch, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's that expensive either. It gives you all the instructions, and all you really need is like a pack of cards and a big piece of paper to draw on. That's all pretty much you really need, and then everything else is like, there's like tokens of consension, which is just like, say if a player does something that you don't particularly like, you just take a token and say, like, I don't like that, and it causes tension. And then if something gets rectified later on, then that token goes away. And then pretty much they kind of say, like, that's how you sort of make sure that, one, people don't start having a Barney about things, because you just kind of go like, I don't like that, and take a token. And also then you can use to however you want to play that in the game. Like, does that have ramifications when you actually start playing with that map? And yeah, I think it took us a while to sort of understand like what to do, but I think once we got into the throw of it, I think we were all pretty much more comfortable with what we were doing. But I'm enjoying it, but I like creating worlds as well, so, and I'm very much a big collaborative person, and I like seeing the sort of weird stuff that everyone else comes up with, so I can sort of bounce off that.
How about you, Liv? How are you finding it? Rubbish, says Liv.
No, I enjoy that kind of thing. I'm not sure how much it will be. So the thing about it, I guess, is it's quite small.
Okay.
So the world that you're making is a village of no more than 80 people.
Okay.
So it's a very small community. So I guess I see it more as a kind of, like, it's really fun, but it's not like world building. It's more like small town building.
Do you think it's something that can be expanded to be?
I think so. I think it's like a land, like, I see it's more like a like a launch pad, I guess, because if you're doing a theme of a world, but it's so much as like little intricate things. So if you were like pulled a card, it would be like, oh, somebody in the community has died. Who are they, and how has it affected the town? You know, so it's very insular to a very small space.
Okay.
Which is good, but I can't see it being like, if you're doing a big campaign, you can't have much, like, you're not going to stay in an 80-person community for very long, you know.
I was so I knew about it because I knew about it from Chris, obviously my partner, but I also knew about it because they played it on the Adventure Zone. So they did it before they did their next campaign of Aethersea, which I listened to the Quiet Year. I enjoyed that. I listened to Aethersea and I didn't enjoy that. But they sort of built the world, and then they started the game like about 100 years in the future.
Okay.
Which I think helped, because then it also had like, it had that very sort of small like community, that 80 people population, and then it gave it 100 years to then develop, so those sort of little myths and lore and things like that is still ingrained in the game, really, in the world, which is what I liked about it. With the world that we're creating at the moment, we definitely wouldn't be able to have like an adventure in this like 80 people populace where there's like sort of like a spice lord at the moment. So
Okay.
But I think it would make a really cool starting point or flavor of the world, you know, where you go,
yeah,
this is the kind of flavor of the place. It's a bit sort of dystopian, Dune-like.
Oh yeah, because you like the biome is like desert, right?
yeah.
Interesting.
Which, I don't know.
It's unusual because I think a lot of people, I know I'm certainly guilty of it. You just kind of go, oh, lush green hills, dish rush.
Yeah, no, I like desert. That's cool. I like more sort of dusty, barren.
You would forgive me if I look for the leaks. Yeah. Like there was the intrusive voice in my head that was just like, someone's gonna load that. Someone's gonna have done it. But
you're a good boy.
The fact that, like, because I'm in the Daggerheart subreddit, and the fact that they, like, you know, Darrington came to the subreddit and were like, please don't. And I was like, okay, fine. If, as petty as it may sound, if there was a response similar to when a certain other tabletop role-playing company accidentally released their books early, accidentally sent them out, and then they started sending the Pinkertons to forcibly retrieve these deliveries. Like, if that was the response, then the part of me might have been like, well,
screw you guys.
Yeah. Not that I condone the screwing of the guys, obviously, in that sense.
What?
Just in that sense.
Yeah.
No, if their response had been like, "Don't you dead," and then I'd be like, "Come on," like. But the fact that they've asked nicely, they have asked nicely. Like, it's fair play, and I guess we can just be in a position where, like, I think we'll be all right. The thing that I'm more concerned about is, like, is someone going to make a Daggerheart module for Foundry, which is what we play on? Because it's definitely going to be on Roll20 because they're releasing tokens for Roll20. But if someone's like able to do Foundry, then that makes my life much easier.
Yeah, if someone can just get a heads up on it and kind of go like, "Oh, it's made.
Yeah,
Here you go."
yeah. If like, because like we've not been able to have Foundry modules while like during the beta. Like that's just hard not been allowed. Question, sorry, can I shrink what I've drawn?
Yes, if you press the layer you've been drawing, if you press the transform button, which is the little cross and the arrow, you can move it and shrink it. There's a transform button.
I'm on a phone, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want me to shrink it for you?
Yes,
can I touch
please.
your layers?
Dan needs to be off the layer first before you can touch it.
Do you want to go onto a different layer?
I was even more exciting to find out that you can actually also have clipping layers on here as well.
Why can't... Okay, touch me.
Ooh.
Touch my layer.
Oh, the layer already has an owner. Ask the owner to leave it or create.
I'm in
Dan,
yours.
leave it. Leave
I'm
it.
in yours now.
You're in mine.
Wait, I'm in mine. Wait. Okay, now I'm in yours.
Can I touch it?
It's done.
It won't let me touch it. It says it already has an owner.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh wait.
No,
no,
I've gone back in now.
Yeah, no, it won't let me touch. It just says I can't. I'm not allowed.
Okay,
all yours are grayed out for me. There you go. You should be able
So
to.
if I copy that.
Yeah. Now who's the one taking up all the canvas?
Well, this is. That is
He's
what
got really
she's
big
wanted to do.
chin.
That's got a super chin.
Can't help it if he's got a massive chin.
Oh, I like yours, Livy. That's super cute.
She's cutie. I just like to keep doing things that Dan's going to hate trying to put into.
Spirit Forge.
Like, what do you mean she's got cherry blossom ant horns? I'm like, well, she does. It's just what you're going to have to do.
Tiny chin. Well, I mean, the tiny chin. Sorry, the massive chin does kind of have. Wait, why am I not drawing? Help!
Tiny eyes.
Every now and then. Why am I drawing? Why am I not drawing? Let me draw. Let me draw. Do I have to do anything to be able to draw again?
Are you back on your layer?
Yeah.
Are you back in paint? Are you back in your paintbrush?
Yeah.
Not allowed to draw them. Sorry.
Just how it is. Sorry about it.
You could just start a new layer and draw on that.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. I can't draw on that either.
Are you?
What have I done?
What are you on? Like the wrong paintbrush? Because there's one paint. There's like, if you checked your paintbrush.
Have you checked your paintbrush?
Does Livy now own the layer? Maybe. Do I own the layer now? Is it mine?
It's probably.
Like, I can draw.
No, I don't.
I can draw thingies. I can draw.
I want to know why you've got two different. So you've got. If you look at the layers, so there's you own Dan owns one layer, and then Explorers owns different layers. Can you see that?
Yeah. So Dan is currently streaming on his.
Oh, okay. So you're
computer.
drawing with the Explorers one. Or just make sure you've not changed.
You're on the wrong layer.
Accidentally.
I'm not.
You need layer 4, not layer 15.
Yeah, the layer 15 is the one I just made.
Are you in white?
No.
Because I've done that. I'm like, why am I not drawing anything? And I've just had white.
Oh, there we go. All right,
I've done that before and then tried to like
technical
afterwards like
difficulties.
be like, oh, it's easy. I'll just put it on like I've got like a clear background layer. Then you clear it and you're like, oh, why have I been erasing in white this whole time? And now I've just got white all over my bloody picture.
Okay, so sorry. Tag teams are boss, yes, 100%.
Tag teams
No,
are-
no, Daniel, you feel free to dominate the chat some more. Feel free. It's like if nothing else, I'm happy, and I'm sure Livy and Nate here are also happy to have someone to natter with.
We'll take requests.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to be dragons
While we're waiting for Dan
to finish his chin. We'll
to finish his
just
chin.
Sounds like killed Kingdom Builder in Pathfinder. Yeah, because they had the whole King's Maker. Was that the name of it? Roll the dice to find out what like Glisha was impacting the kingdom. That's
okay.
cool. That's
Yeah.
quite cool. Any part of the manual flesh out its extreme frigid area. What's similarities to desert in important ways? Yeah, I think just forcing yourself to not play in temperate biomes just introduces new challenges that you just don't really
Yeah,
get
it's just
to.
different. You can build different cultures in there. It's just rather than. But I mean, it just does. I don't think any of us are planning on playing like a druid or anything. I don't know. But I guess when you've made like a whole desert biome, you're just like, oh great, I can make trees for the desert.
I think one player is thinking of playing a druid in campaign 3, but
Well, that have to be a.
Sandy druid.
We're talking about our Wednesday night, the one that we've
Wednesday
made.
night.
Oh, yeah.
Right, no.
Oh yeah, no, we've got a druid planned. Someone maybe.
We're giving D&D 2024 a go and see how that pans out.
Most of it's quite logical changes, I'd say, for D&D 24.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, just real quick, so you know what I'm doing here, I'm just going to draw these triangles in. And then the idea that I'm having, so this is Kervotha. So she is
A big girl.
A big girl with a big chin.
Her thing is that she's now referred to, like, she died. She was one of the casualties of the war.
Oh, she did.
She did.
First she died, now she did. But
And she said that she did.
oh, that's a blend tool. Okay, that's cool. Right, if I move this layer. Oh no! How do I? Where's the combine layers?
It should be the.
No, wait.
It's the little pair of
down.
scissors
Yeah,
and the down.
Right, so if I do that and then do that and then do that. So the whole thingy with her, let's make a red. And then she'll go big.
I'm enjoying Daisy proper face snooting the radiator.
Oh, she's got to keep her nose warm.
She's realised that we've left the heating on.
Taking full advantage.
She is taking full advantage. So Kervotha with them red scales. And then with the little chunks. But she's very angry, as death is wont to make you. So because if we're talking in D&D terms, D&D language, like she's the transmutation. So fundamentally, the reason she's called the Sundered is that her essence has kind of been pulled across multiple states. So how do we best kind of represent that? Oh, there's the music. Let's the music on. Because I'm thinking like broken skin, crackling energy.
Kind of like the surface of lava. Like you can see through the layers of cracked.
Yeah.
Just draw Rary's hair.
If I do but then I'm wary of just kind of coding it to being like lava, if you know what I mean. Because it is.
Or do you have maybe do a different backlit then? Not yellow, but
Green.
Purple. Complementary. Yeah, the green looks cool.
Yeah.
No.
My body goes through space and time. How could this happen? Am I the bad guy?
She
Totally
was, in
was
fact,
bad.
the bad guy. What are the colours?
Pink.
Like a neon. Make it
Like a
like a
neon.
cyberpunk.
Okay, I'll just do a little dark red for some.
That's what I kind of.
Is that what she says?
Yeah.
Just like we've got like these two big-headed dragons, and then there's just a little guy.
Hey.
Hey, do you want to see the magic speak?
Hey guys, want to see a magic trick?
Does he do magic tricks like Bob Mortimer? 2 carrots.
Yeah, he's got the whole spoon underneath the handkerchief.
Okay. Does that make you go, oh, she doesn't look healthy?
She
Yeah,
don't look good.
she don't look good. She looks like she needs to lie down.
She had a rough time at paintball.
She got picked on. She got bullied at paintball.
Okay. Okay, vote of the Sundered. Bish bash bosh. Close enough.
I can't remember what my one's
Ah.
called.
So you've got
Wait.
which
Wait,
way
wait.
around? So Nate's on the right. So that's Faisto.
The little
F-
guy's Faisto, and
Faesto. That's it. And then
she's nurturing and
oh yes. Selenith.
yeah.
CELE.
they are.
Yes, they. CELENITH. Oop, hold on.
Wait.
That would be a very good idea, Daniel. Probably. Because I imagine maybe she was red, but maybe now she isn't. In fact, has probably the scales would be like. I guess if we go down the idea of like lava, maybe the scales are like just blackened, and yeah, there's just like underneath, there's just this constantly shifting miasma depending on what energy source that fragment of Kervotha is manifesting in that moment. Cool. Yeah, it's something for me to work from. That's perfect. Cool. There we go. Shall we do one more set? I mean, that's 9 of the 18.
Yeah.
So cool. So new image. Let's move that to the middle slightly. There we go. So we've got who've we got left? So starting from the bottom, Palagara the Shadow, Naravid the Doomsayer, Vanthurian the Tyrant, Laravorg the Swarm, Yala the Castellan, Barahan the Soul Guide, Gagoldin the Wild Heart, Tione the Architect, Dost, the inventor, Hydrea, the lawkeeper, and Renangar, the sky watcher.
I'd quite like to do the lawkeeper.
Hydrea, okay. So
She's female. She's female.
yeah, so Hydrea, she is the lawkeeper. Her color is royal blue.
Nice. Okay. I can work with that. Nice.
What's Nate running with?
I
Oh, you
I'm
should do a
gonna-
bad boy now.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't done a
You should do
naughty boy
You
yet.
should do a bad boy.
I haven't done naughty boy.
So I'm going to do Laravorg, the Swarm. I think.
Okay.
I think he sounds really cool. The swarm.
So, Laravorg, they were the Grove Tender once
Right.
upon a time, but now they are the law, like the deity of the swarm, which is so in D&D terms, it's conjuration. So it's the manifestation of natural things that so rather than tending, so whereas once they tended the garden, like they were, now they're like they are they spawn the locusts and like the eternal, the devouring hunger.
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was kind of thinking.
Creating to destroy, and Laravorg's color is amber.
Let's see.
So dark orange, I guess.
Yeah, like a darky orangey yellow. I'm trying not to do too much of what the last one was like.
Okay. Who am I going to go with?
Who are you going to go with, Dan? You've done one good boy, one naughty boy.
Dost. I do Dost, you know. The inventor. And I reckon, and hear me out here, I'm reckoning what's better done the wrong one. What's better when you're an inventor, sometimes you just want to have like multiple heads.
So you can look at multiple things at once.
So
Yeah.
like multiple different ideas.
I was thinking that the
like a
lawkeeper needs
hydra.
multiple hands because she needs to have multiple books.
And some brass goggles.
And so, we're not going to with cogs, random cogs.
And steam coming out of the head.
And an apron.
Okay, yes. Right, I think I'm gonna go down a Hydra route with Dost. Really makes you answer, why is this town here? Yeah. So going back to our talk on not playing intemperate, why is the town here? Yeah.
Well, our town is because it was full of spice fields,
Spice fields.
drugs.
I get, like, one of the things when I'm world building that always kind of gets me is when someone's like, so, we've built this river, we've built this town on a river, and then, like, the river then began, like, churning out souls. Like, the souls of the damned are now floating out of this river, and we can't go near the river because we'll get eaten. We can't fall in the river or we'll get eaten. And there's a part of me that's like, I know it's a fantasy world. Logically, why would you stay? Like, what is there out there? I suppose the question is, what is there out there that makes the literal river of the damned a more appetizing concept, a more welcoming concept? But then it's also like, well, but it's fantasy, right? So you just got to sometimes be a bit, in inverted commas, silly. But yeah, Why is the town there? In the inhospitable area, it's got to be built around some resource. So I suppose, yeah, you lot have done a good shout with the spice fields. It's not high magic. But yeah, have you, with your world building, have you figured out like if you're high magic or not?
I think I kind of assumed it was. Well, we're playing on a D&D, so there has to be.
Oh, true.
Yeah, nothing's sort of been really said yet, but there have been sort of deities and monsters that have been mentioned so far.
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah, sometimes trying to make your imaginary world work when there's magic. And it's like, the weird thing about that is that you've now got to demagicify magic.
yeah.
Yeah, which is not one. In my head, I've got bravery. Yes. The event has multiple heads. It can get very explicit. Left brain, right brain. Oh, good shout. Good shout indeed. So, brass goggles on the left side and artist berets on the right side. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Let's get some ideas for. You know what? Let's just do. Let's do a quick Google search for unusual dragons. And hopefully, definitely not show it on stream in case I get something I can't show on stream.
You know what you can show on screen? That picture of Aya I drew.
Well,
Forever tainting. Right?
technically close.
Okay. Hear me out.
Yeah.
I've just seen a picture of an anglerfish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Does Dost have a little light bulb?
That's pretty cool.
Oh, they can like kind of.
A little anglerfish light bulb.
They can see under the car.
Oh.
Wait, what?
So what
Under
is
all of
it?
its heads, or just
Whoa,
one
hang
head?
on. So
Or one head
knowledge
is a
and-
light bulb. Then you can just kind of turn it around.
And when he has an idea, bing!
Bing! Just the middle one. It's got a middle light bulb head. I have an idea of what I want to draw for this, but I'm not sure how I'm going to go about it.
I'm gonna go a little bit thinner on that line.
We're locked in. That's yeah. Livy, you and Daniel have had the same idea. We are all locked in. So, who? Okay, while we're drawing these up, which of the gods, which of the dragons, would you least want to meet in a dark corridor, like a dark alleyway?
That little guy.
Because then you'd be hooked in to
Yeah.
close up magic.
I'd never.
Yeah.
I just feel like he'd never let me leave. The letter.
I mean, that little bastard, can't remember his name, who was part of Wenderhigh. Like, he was pretty. If he can get into your head,
Yeah, he was nasty. He could like see your worst fears and then use them against you. Like that's
So,
not very nice, you know.
In actual fact, what the two of you have just said helps with the question that Dan just posed us. So, yeah, in the Elsewhere setting, the gods are dragons, and the dragons, capital D, are gods. But then, the spawn of the dragons would be the equivalent of like, you know, real world or like D&D celestials and fiends. So if I were to write, if we were to draw up a D&D 5th edition version of the Elsewhere setting, in the grand scheme of things, draconic, like the draconic, celestial, and fiends subtypes would be one and the same. So, you know, Nate played a seraph of Aya in Tales from Elsewhere, and in Aya's temple in Avonmore, which is like the capital city of the New World, the rediscovered world, there was a dragon spawn. So imagine this like white-scaled, gleaming, very kind of like aloof, you know, arms crossed kind of thing, dragon atop this dais at the far end of the temple, and like people will come up and talk to them. But that would be the equivalent of going into a D&D temple and there being an angel, like a, you know, a solar or whatever, sat at the end of the temple. So that's that. So yeah, dragons are divine in nature, and you then have dragon scent, who are the heritage, like the playable heritage race. They look like D&D Dragonborn, but they are sort of like auspicious births. So mortals will, like when they have a child, if they're super lucky, their child will be blessed by the dragons to look in their image, and yeah, the child is all dragony.
Like, oh, it's all dragony. And can dragon scent not reproduce?
So this is a question that I think, Nate, didn't you ask me this?
I think you told me, and I think then I think it was because I can't remember. No, I think it was something that you told me. I think it was just because Kavrin is a big old.
He's a hussy.
He's a big old hussy, and whether or not that could have ramifications if you didn't use fantasy protection.
Yeah, it's one of those questions that I hadn't really kind of sat down and...
Just think if they're born from...
Yeah, because it's an auspicious, like literally a divine event for a dragon scent.
Because then if the dragon scent had a child, and they could just produce more dragon scents.
Yeah.
Or would they produce what their original family line would be? So would a dragon scent
possibly, yeah.
Produce Lorivar?
Because much in the way that you were eyeballing having a goblin-born dragon scent.
Yeah.
Yeah, like would a dragon scent with goblin parents have a goblin child? Again, it's one of those things where, from a lore building perspective, I've not really kind of answered the question because, like, in a way, do I want to just leave it up to the player?
I think it makes things interesting. I think it makes it interesting that because then it's, I mean, you could go either way, sort of storytelling. You could either go with dragon scent can, you know, reproduce, and then do they do some sort of thing of just like, I have to find like another dragon scent of Aya to keep the bloodline pure and things like that. And then you could go into a whole load of race politics into all of that, which sometimes in fun high fantasy you don't really want to get into. But then that also being said, like, you could also go into the idea that dragon scent can't reproduce, so then you could get some characters who do look for family, or do, you know, look to become people who like adopt other race, like other heritages, to kind of fulfill that family sort of them, or they go into religion because that's where they feel more with family, a connection to family. So I guess either way, really, it could be that, like, you know, people are less likely to sort of be with, like, go into romantic relationships with dragon scent because, well, you've not really spoken about like cross heritages in Elsewhere at all, and it's something that you've been quite avoiding.
Yeah, only from the perspective of I want to lock in the 8 core heritages before we start delving in. And I mean, arguably, even like Watsy have kind of sort of moved away, because I'm pretty sure like half elf, half orc aren't mechanical things anymore. And like, to be fair, Daggerheart, they've just adopted if you are if you're the child of 2 different like species, I think do they call them species in Daggerheart? Yeah, you just choose one bit from one parent, like one mechanical bit from one parent and one mechanical bit from the other.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, I think, I mean, maybe that's just the case of what I end up doing. I don't know, because it's one of those questions where I could kind of see it going either way.
Yeah.
How do I make this not look oddly phallic?
You can't with dragons.
Close enough.
Daniel, if you're willing to share your sort of dragon religion, please do.
I have an idea. Yeah, no, absolutely. Hit us with it. Ancestry, thank you. Thank you. I have an idea of bouncing. Yeah, please share. And then, like, I think any ideas that are out in the public and kind of bouncing around, you 99 times out of 100 are the better for it.
I can't draw one hand, never mind trying to draw multiple hands. What am I doing? I'm just gonna put her in like pockets, lots of dungarees, and then every hand could be in a pocket.
She's always got like a hand behind the head.
Yeah,
Right behind her back.
one here.
Could do like I did and just draw no hands.
I've realised my mistake is deciding that this dragon has 4 heads.
Heads are easy, hands. Ooh.
No. Just to get the general idea of she has hands.
Dragons are older in time, have a single deity. If they please their god, they get reincarnated. The number of dragons stays the same. But if they displease their god, they are, depending on who you ask, allowed to just die or become something like a wyvern or a kobold.
I'm picturing the kobolds with like a proper Brooklyn. I used to be a dragon once, you know. Yeah.
Hey, I'm walking. You know, I was a dragon.
Don't you know who I am?
Oh,
You know who I am?
I survive.
I
It's
mean,
like with a cigarette and a long stare. You don't know what I used to be.
I actually love that, Daniel. But I think anything that we can introduce that make dragons have more like narrative impact, the better. Because I mean, this, you know, I think it's a shame when it's just like, oh, this is nameless red dragon, like nameless green dragon that you're gonna beat up for XP. But having dragons that are driven by what is effectively like a divine purpose, chef's kiss.
She has many eyes for reading many books, and she has many hands for reading many books.
This girl looks really sad, but I think I'm spending too long on this, so YOLO. I can't, no. He's a proper girl.
Why am I down here?
I'd come up with all the ideas and they never credit me.
They never tell me I'm a clever boy.
Oh yeah, and he comes up with one idea. He's just like, oh, I just really want to make.
He always comes up with the same idea.
Yeah.
He's like, guys,
It's
listen.
like Derek. We've already had this conversation.
No, but here we are.
And he won't give it up until he gets it in there.
I wish I had a graphics tab.
I think I'm doing super well for not having a graphics. tab.
Yeah.
If I'm drawing on a tip, my big stubby fingers are just like.
To be fair, I have got.
Oh, you've got a little pen.
I've got a stylus, so I'm gonna.
Oh, you got no excuse then.
Yeah, no excuse.
Yeah. I can say, if anyone can't afford sort of like more expensive sort of like drawing software, I think Magna's the way to go. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's got kind of what I like, which is like brushes that are like thick. Well, maybe it's just me. I like a thick, smooth, thick brush. I can just on.
There was
Colour with.
a proper sort of downloadable software that Chris put me onto. I can't remember the name of it now, but I found the UI just so cluttered, and I know that you could, you know, sort of clear that up. But I think if you're someone who's very new to sort of drawing, say like on a graphics tablet or something like that, and you see all of that, you just kind of go,
Yeah.
Or like when you open up Photoshop for the first time.
Yeah, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what the?
What the?
What on earth?
Chris is in the chat now.
There he is.
He just comes in. Trogdor.
We've already talked about Trogdor.
We've already
Chris,
talked
you
it.
Yeah,
You missed it, Chris.
keep up,
You
Chris.
missed it. Should have been here.
I was my attempt to explain why there are so few dragons and they don't just take over the world. Yeah, dragons that get too greasy lose eternal life. If they've got to,
What if it was the other way round? Because usually sort of dragons are well known for being sort of like greedy and nasty, and that sort of pleases their god. But if they like are too nice,
what I
God's
was
like,
gonna,
no.
I was
You're gonna
going to
be little
suggest
then.
what happens if, like, if the dragons are sort of like trying to impress, trying to impress their patron gods, their patron deities. Presumably, that will go both ways in that there will be like good aligned dragons worshipping, like doing the work of good aligned gods, and evil aligned dragons, evil aligned gods. So an evil aligned dragon would be doing their utmost to be a bit of a d-bag to gain the favor of their patron.
Hmm.
So yes, yeah, that's where you can have your evil dragons, and if we're talking sort of like D&D terms, like silver dragons are effectively like the paladins of the world, so they would be doing their utmost to help everyone because that's what Bahamut wants.
What a d-bag.
What a d-bag.
Right, I'm going to stop this now because it's just going to go crazy. Might actually put a little bit more wine in it.
I'm gonna stop. No, actually, no, I'm not.
No, actually, no.
I mean, I can't say anything. That's exactly what I did a little while ago.
Right, if Faisto is not in campaign 3, I'm going to be very upset.
I've changed the law. Faisto's dead.
Yeah, no!
No.
I'll have to make him sad.
Oh, I like
Just
your guy, Nathan.
A singular little teardrop. Okay, I was thinking of like a super light pink squidgy bits for Dost, but actually
You're going Fluttershy.
I think I'm preferring the grey.
My little dragon.
My little dragon. My 4 little dragons. Grey. I like the grey. I think that's they're an inventor, aren't they? I think that makes.
Okay. Bish bash bosh. Sorted. Colour those in. Colour. Colour that in. A row of ingredients was what pleased God that even a few dragons taking over the world. Do you have a god of greed? Because that sounds like a campaign trail, right? A campaign plot line right there. So then, sorry, this guy in the bottom left.
What's wrong with him?
He's the one that got bullied in the womb.
and further along as well.
He's just a little guy.
Oh, poor Derek.
Poor Derek.
Cool. I'm happy to. That guy. Oh my god.
What's wrong with him?
He's a prof. Hang on.
Is it just his little snorkely nose? His little snork nose?
It
I
could be.
like his little snork nose. He looks a bit like Cyril Sneer.
He looks a little bit like Cyril Sneer.
I think. I mean, I'm not one for ruining my own pieces of work, but
I think you should make. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. He's
No
the
notes.
Ed, the Lion King Ed.
Every family's got to have one.
Cool. Right. So we've got. Wow, Dan, you can really read that, can't you, Dan? That's
You know what
inventor.
you're talking about.
You know what you're talking about.
I've lost my pen. There it is.
Yeah, let's
I
do
just
that.
I just remember what the flavour is.
What flavour dragon are you?
The inventor. There we go. Better.
Your guy looks like he's getting living. He's like, guys, calm
Guys,
down.
guys.
Guys.
Can we stop talking about Derek's ideas? Just for 1 second. Guys.
Ignore him and he won't act up.
Okay, so we've got Laravorg, Hydrea. Very good, very good. I'm enjoying the Four Eyes.
She needs to read multiple books at once, so
It's true. Shall we just make her an Eldritch Abomination and just eyes all the way around her head?
just
Nothing but eyes.
She can just produce as many as she needs.
it needs. Yeah, she's just like, oh, big document.
You know what? I'm gonna put eyes all over my guys. I think
What?
the one I've
Just
thought-
over Derek.
The one thing that I've just thought of that actually I could spice my one up with. Just because they're divine beings, right?
Yeah. Gotta give them little halos. Hey. Hey.
Little like concentric gold or maybe iron.
Daniel, I mean, it might not be able to tell from the image, but I've tried to make Laravorg sort of like made of locusts, like made of bugs.
Yeah, it's how I saw him, that he's just kind of made of a swarm. He is the swarm.
He is the swarm. So, I mean, you can try and cuddle
So
them.
he can get through little gaps.
Do I like those concentric rings? Just a little something.
little vavavoom.
Little je ne sais quoi.
Go give Derek any. He's not allowed.
He's only allowed one.
He lost
hasn't
his other
earned-
one.
He hasn't earned the other one.
Swallowed it.
Cool.
Derek's always like just doing hula hoop with his.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, tea.
Oh, I'll have a tea, Julia.
Yeah, I'll have a tea, Julia.
I'll have a tea, Julia.
Thank you all. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with the rings. Just to something. Whoop. Whoop, not that one though.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, Daniel. I think there's always positivity in trying something new, and if you want to hug a dragon deity made of bugs, then you do you.
We are not here to shame anyone.
Mm.
Close enough. How do we make our dragons look more like Pokemon?
Put rings on it.
Put rings on it. Okay, so we've drawn 9 dragons.
Yeah,
Smash wash.
that's 9 more than you had.
Yeah.
There's 9 more than I had, and now I can pass them on to real artists.
Hey.
I jest. So, let me just quickly read up. No one's bullying the anglerfish guy. I like him. Thank you. I thought the anglerfish idea was weird, but it worked out quite. Apart from Derek down at the bottom.
It's a great idea, apart from that one guy.
apart from this guy here. Yeah. Okay,
Their mum
so
said they had to bring him along.
they would leave him behind, but
Fine,
unfortunately,
but-
he's connected to the same
Attached.
spider as them. Yeah. Consummate rings, yes. Yeah, Laravorg is scary.
I had to do something compared to the last 2 I drew.
So we have Laravorg the Swarm. I'm interested to see, like, it. So if we have this idea, like, this is what Laravorg looks like. Now, stop and think. What does a dragon spawn of Laravorg look like? I.e., what does the angel of Laravorg look like?
I think definitely sort of like insect-like. So
Yeah.
it's more leaning towards insect rather than dragon.
Covered in
Yeah.
bees.
Covered in bees.
Bees. So yeah, cuddly or scary, you decide. I mean, I think what makes Laravorg that much more like intimidating is that he could in fact be quite cuddly, and chooses not to be.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, we'll put those down there. So yeah, that's Laravorg. We've got Dos the Inventor, 4 heads for science. Well, three and a half heads. And Hydrea, the Lawkeeper. Oh, bless her. I'm enjoying the 4 eyes. I'm enjoying that.
4 eyes, 4 arms.
4 eyes, 4 arms. Then we have Faisto, our little boy Faisto.
Yeah,
there.
it is.
There he is. Kervoth of the Sundered. And
I've forgotten her name.
Selenith. Selenith just there. Oh, bless him. I'm enjoying Selenith. And then we have Melodani with a red plastic cup because she's the party girl.
And a little heart on the eye.
Ulavar.
Because she's quirky like that.
Now I've come back to Ulavari, I've realised just how freaky Ulavari is.
Yeah, I love it.
It's the black eye that's getting me.
Yeah.
Like
Show me what those 2 heads do.
So, yes, Ulavari and finally Badman.
That well-known.
That well-known dragon, Badman. That is Vanthurian. No, Vanthurian?
That's
Whatever the
Zerathane.
necromancer what is.
Zerathane. I like the skull idea on Zerathane though. It makes me wonder when Zerathane was like. So Zerathane used to be
good.
used
That's
to be
why-
good.
That's
and
why
it
I
was
asked, is it after or before?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I don't want him to have a face, so
Yeah, because Zerathane was used to look after the sanctity of the worship of the dead,
okay.
and now looks like this.
No, yeah. Something went wrong somewhere. Just didn't keep
Yes.
up with the skincare routine.
Maybe it's the necromantic arcane magics that.
Yeah, just
Kept on
sucked
using.
all of his muscle and flesh off of him.
Yeah, like a chop.
Yeah.
Capra Sun.
Just ate really loads of lemons. Just
Yeah, the always question with deities. This is how they actually look. So, unlike other deities, I feel like within the lore of Elsewhere, once upon a time it would have been like, we have drawings of what we imagine the dragons to look like. But in the lore of Elsewhere, like there was a big war between Aya and a Khan, and then their 18 children sided with one or t'other, until we ended up with this list here, basically. So Ire in 11, Akan in 7. And then they emerged from the Divine Realms into the realm of Elsewhere, and the mortals were fighting literally in the shadows of the wings of gods. So at that point, that would have been the first time they would have presented a physical form to the mortals of Elsewhere. So I guess in that sense, it would behoove us to have definitive looks. But I suppose there's always room for change. I mean, look at D&D, like the demon lords keep changing every edition. So, yeah. But this is an amazing start. Thank you, the two of you.
Now we have to do the other ones. Not now.
Yes, not now.
Not now.
I mean, the fact that we got through 9 of them in just over a couple. What? Yeah, just over an hour, around 2 hours of actual drawing. I think we've done a bang tidy job. This is true. Well, again, this is a question that we can answer. Like, is this actually the true form? Because I imagine if you're a god, especially someone like Meladani, would take trickster forms to hoodwink people. Palagara the Shadow 100% would as well.
I guess also you can play it as, even though during the war the mortals did see the deities, did they take form in a way that sort of like the mortals would understand them? True.
Yeah. I mean, we have an event called the Eschaton, but if you look into like the rest of the really out there stuff in like the Christian Bible, like angels are spinning hoops of eyes. Like, what? What? I feel like Passion of the Christ would have been a very different film if biblically accurate angels started turning up.
Just the arts department. It's just like, we've run out of googly eyes.
It's when you know that H.P. Lovecraft was using the Bible as inspiration for Cthulhu and the other world gods. But yes, we've created nine. Well, we've drawn visages of 9 of our dragons, 9 of our gods. If nothing else, I think, Dan, you were on the money. Like, they don't necessarily have to. Like, they're all different looking, aren't they? So I enjoy that. I enjoyed that. Cool. Thank you, you two, for drawing. I'm 100% sure we're gonna get back together again and have we can smash out the other 9, and then we can diversify. We could start drawing world spirits.
Yeah.
Just so more gods from the Elsewhere lore.
More gods.
So if you are watching, if you're watching this live, thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting with us in chat. I really massively appreciate that. Once again, this is part of Monster Week, so if you want to check out the other videos, so all of this week, Ginny D and Pointy Hat are encouraging content creators to create videos based on dragons. So this very long list that I'm just scrolling through, they are all from yesterday, and then we've got a playlist for today that hopefully this will appear on at some point later. And that runs all the way through to Friday. If you are enjoying sort of like the noises that we've made and want to you're interested in Elsewhere as a setting, campaign 3 is due to start in about a month's time. So we're getting ready for that. That's going to be using the Dagger Heart rule set. Really looking forward to that. But we also have effectively 3 other campaigns before campaign 3. Year 1, which was our first campaign using D&D. Elysia Rising, which was using Blades in the Dark, and Tales from Elsewhere, which was also using Daggerheart. So if you want to kind of get a feel for the land, see what has happened as we move into our third year after the Eschaton and the start of the rediscovery of Elsewhere, make sure you check those out. The campaigns are only 20 episodes long, so it doesn't take all that long to work through, and each of the campaigns is like a succinct story from start to finish. So yeah, really good. If you want to either watch that, it's available on podcast as well if you want to listen to it on like streamings and so on and so forth. Yeah, we're probably going to do a few more other things. We last weekend. Last weekend,
yeah.
Well, weekend before last, on the 12th, we did a 12-hour live stream for charity here in Bristol in the UK. We raised an amazing amount of money, and I'm now starting to upload each of those videos once, like each of those separate videos. They're uploading pretty much twice a week. So 2 of them are already live, and the remaining 5 will release soon as well. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoy, hit like, comment if you like, follow us if you're over on Twitch, subscribe if you're over here on YouTube, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.